The broker has a pitch, now you get a CPA. I do want to remind you that I do have a 10-question readiness test, and also I do have a free school community, Firewatch Business Lab, at school.com. Links to both are in the description below, and in the Firewatch Business Lab, you can talk to me, book a call, and also download the CPA due diligence checklist. Recently, I was working with a buyer, real deal, real money, seriously considering it. He had a conversation with the broker on the deal, and something in that conversation told him everything he needed to know, and he walked away. Not because of a number, because of what the conversation revealed about who he'd be dealing with. Here's what's interesting. Nothing in his financial analysis said walk away. Nothing in the lease review. Never even got to the point of looking at equipment. Not to mention, never looked at deal structure. The thing that killed this was a question that could have never been resolved on a spreadsheet. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Hey, I'm Jason Schmidt. I help people buy businesses under $500,000 without making a mistake that could cost them pretty much everything. Buyers think that due diligence means resolving every question completely. You know, real deals, incomplete records, spotty equipment history, vague seller answers, you get to 80% and the last 20% isn't available at any price. This is normal, and this is not automatically disqualifying. But the buyers who get hurt aren't the ones who accept risk. They're the ones who accept risk without pricing it in. Okay, there are three categories of unresolved risk. Category one is priceable, something you can put a dollar figure on. Equipment age you can't fully verify means you have to have an estimated replacement cost. Deferred maintenance of an unknown scope, right? You use the range and you project the high end. These come off the purchase price, period, full stop. If I'm carrying the risk, I'm also not paying full price for it. Category two is structurable, right? Something you can't price, but you can protect against, right? Contingencies in the offer, or the seller carries a note, or a holdback in escrow, a seller warranty. Let me give you an example. Customer concentration that you cannot verify. So how do you do it? You tie the payout, the earnout, to the retention of these customers. You know, the risk doesn't disappear. It shifts to the party who knows more than you do. If a seller won't accept the structure, ask why. Trust me, they certainly know something, and more than you. Category three is disqualifying. No discount can fix it, right? No structure can protect you. When you can't trust the other party and they're not being honest, when information is being actively withheld rather than genuinely unavailable, when the story keeps changing, you cannot price in integrity. There's no discount that makes a dishonest other party safe. This is where the buyer in my opening story landed, and he was right. He had to walk away. But let me tell you, there's a 4-step process to resolve this, right? Number one is resolve everything you can with documentation. You cannot accept just trust me on anything that's checkable, like SDE, add backs. Number two is name what's left in dollars and consequences. Not the equipment is old, but if these fail in year one, that's $80,000. Do I have that budgeted? Is this something in escrow you can hold back? Is this risk something that I need to factor in the price? Number three, you got to make it work for you, right? Either price it down, put it in the structure around it, make it a contingency. Or you can even make the seller carry it, right? I want to say this too, because it happens more often than you think. Fear of missing out is very real, but it should not be the reason you take a bad deal. Oh, another deal may not come along. Well, that's just nuts. That's not true. You're going to have another deal come along, and you don't want to buy into a bad one. So the FOMO here is real, but don't let it force you into making a bad deal. Number four, build the plan for if it happens. Plan for the worst case scenario, protecting your purchase, right? Pricing protects the purchase, right? A plan protects the business. Where does that $80,000 come from if those things break down in year one? Do you have a reserve? Is the seller have a reserve that you haven't paid them yet? Or are you just hoping? Then, and only then, you decide if you can live with the risk that's left. Now, I want to tell you something because this is very important. And this is the danger of this framework. An emotionally committed buyer uses the price at end to justify anything. Listen, category 3, which is disqualifying, and you cannot put a price and you can't price it out, exists precisely to stop that. If you find yourself constructing an explanation for why a bad signal is fine, that's the signal. The buyer in my story did not negotiate around what he found. He left. He walked away. That took total discipline. A lot of buyers don't even have that. So I want to go back over the 3 categories real quick. I want to sum it up right here. So category 1 is priceable. Those things that have a dollar amount and you can put it in the purchase price. Category 2 is structurable. Can you structure something around it? A contingency, something like that. Category 3 is disqualifying, which means there's nothing you can do but walk away. Now, the fixes, I want to cover those real quick because this is extremely important because not all red flags will be resolved. There are risks that you're going to have to take in buying a business that you're not going to be able to have 100% answered. So here's what you do. This is how you resolve it, right? This is the framework you use, right? You resolve everything that documentation allows. Name what's left in dollars and consequences. Number 3, you make it work for you. And number 4, build the plan for if it hits, the worst case scenario. Listen, if you're sitting on a question you can't resolve and you don't know which category it falls in, that's exactly what I do. And that's exactly what we can discuss in my free school community Firewash Business Lab on school.com. You can even book a free 30-minute call with me. Bring your deal you're looking at it. Let's look at it together. Join today. The link is in the description. And of course, I have the 10-question readiness test, and it is a test. That link is also in the description. Listen, it's not about finding a deal. It's about avoiding a bad one.